Hello, my lovely, lovely Leos, or at least to those of you who have a Mars in Leo placement in your birth chart. So, this week I am specifically looking at Mars and how Mars affects the energy of each zodiac sign. So, if you're Leo rising, Leo moon, Leo sun, you may feel that a lot of what I'm saying here still resonates with you strongly. However, you may really want to go and look at whatever your Mars chart is. Your Mars, I can't speak today. What your Mars placement is. So there is a link in the description box down below that will take you to a free service that lets you. I'm not affiliated to them in any way. It's just a service that I use that I find very, very useful in looking up my birth chart. And also very, very detailed horoscopes for my specific birth chart. So instead of it being like an overview, a general kind of like all Leos are like this, clearly all Leos are not the same. And it's because we have different placement for every single planet and astral body in the sky at our time of birth. It creates conflicts. So no two Leos are going to be exactly alike. The example that I'm using of how our Mars placement can affect people is, if you think about Aries, Aries is a fire sign like you. They are very, very impulsive, very spontaneous. They get fired up. They take leaps of faith toward things. They act without thinking a lot of the time, or at least typically Aries energy is like that. But if you had somebody who was Aries sun sign or star sign and they had a Mars placement in Taurus, there's going to be a contradiction there, because Mars is all about how we take action, what makes us passionate, how we get fired up, and what we do when we feel passionate and fired up. And Taurus is a sign that is very much slow and steady wins the race. It's very grounded. They don't like to shift paths. So you've somebody who is Aries sun and has a Taurus placement as the Mars placement, they're going to be a lot more grounded, a lot more steady, a lot more stable than somebody who might have an Aries placement, a Mars placement in like Sagittarius. So we all have these contradictions, these intricacies of our charts. Sometimes it means that we're going to be it's going to be like a double, right? Some things are going to get doubled up. Other things are going to cause contradictions. So that's why some of us may think, oh, I'm not a typical this, I'm not a typical that. So generally, we're talking about Mars and Leo energy. Specifically, it's going to be if you have a Mars in Leo placement, but generally, like, you may find that you resonate with this if you have a lot of Leo in your chart. So I hope that gobbledygook made some sort of sense. I even said gobbledygook wrong. I said gobbledygook because I don't know what's going on with my mouth today in this reading. Maybe I need to do Mercury readings and get Mercury to come and help me here. So if you have this placement of Mars in Leo, you're going to be actually quite a creative person. You're going to really have a lot of passion for what you do. When you take action, whatever you put your time and effort into, you want it to feel like it has some sort of meaning. You want it to feel like it's almost like your destiny to be doing what you're doing. Very passionate about it and kind of quite protective of what you do as well. So when you produce something, when you create something, when you make something, when you've put a lot of work into something, you're very, very proud of that. You want to feel proud of your achievements, and you're going to feel very, very touchy, very annoyed if people undermine your achievements, if people mock what you've done, or if people don't value the things that you value. You're going to be quite slighted by that, and you may get a little bit huffy. So yeah, very passionate. You probably have very clear ideas of what you want to do. You probably have something that feels like it's a destined path for you. You feel like it's what you're, even if you don't have a clear idea of what you're doing and a specific ambition, you're going to want to do things that make you feel like that you have value, that it gives value to your life, and that you are you have value in what you're doing. You really just want life to have meaning. You may be quite pleasure seeking. Leo is a very luxurious energy. They like things that feel good, right? So whether that be having a long bubble bath, or spending time with somebody that you want to get closer to, you are going to enjoy experiences. You probably have quite a healthy appetite and probably enjoy very well made food. you don't want to just take any old rubbish. You kind of want to enjoy what you're eating. So there's this sense of taking a lot of pleasure in the things that you do. You probably are quite magnetic. You're probably quite a charismatic person. You may project a lot of confidence even when you don't particularly feel confident on the inside. I think if you're doing something that you're very passionate about, you're going to naturally come off as very confident because you have so much enthusiasm for the thing that you're doing, and that translates into confidence when you get into the flow of it, right? When you start talking about something that you're excited about, you're going to come across as very passionate about it. So you probably have, when you talk about the things that you're doing, or when you're doing the things that you're passionate about, people can see that about you, and it does act as, you may not even be aware of it, but it does act as a draw. It acts as a pull to pull in other energy around you, because other people are attracted to that enthusiasm. What else? You probably have quite high principles as well about what you're doing. You probably have a sense of honor, a sense of what I'm doing is right. I'm doing the honorable thing. You probably act with a lot of integrity as well. You probably like to defend your integrity and the integrity of the people that you care about. You're going to want to stand up for the people that you care about, especially in regards to if they've worked hard at what they're doing. You're really going to value that. You like people to admire your work. You like people to admire your efforts. You want people to recognize your efforts. You do like the people who are close to you to show their affection for you, whether that's physically or verbally. You do probably are. Leo is a sign that has a bit of ego, so you really want to be recognized for the contributions that you're making. You want to feel like you're important in the lives of the people around you. So yeah, moving with a lot of passion, doing things that you care about, wanting to feel like there's a point to what you're doing, and really kind of being proud of your achievements. This is all very much Mars in Leo energy. Okay, so I guess we're going to start pulling you some cards. So the people who are resonating, who are saying, yeah, that sounds like me. If you're not, maybe just go and check out a couple of different placements and see if that sounds more like you. Or, especially if you're not Mars in Leo, go and check out what your Mars in Leo actually is. Mars in Leo, what your Mars placement actually is. You may find that resonates more. So yeah, we'll see. So the people who resonate with this reading, Mars in Leo energy. Oh, I didn't tell you your song. Sorry. Your song, again, I wonder if she's a Leo. Dannii Minogue, the sister of Kylie Minogue. It's amazing. So it really does feel like it's appropriate for you. So she says, some things feel so right. And I feel like that's very much kind of the motto of people with this placement. If it feels right, if it feels like it's what you're meant to be doing, if it feels good, if you're enthusiastic about it, then it's for you. She also says, inside I may be falling down, but outside I'm as tall as trees. And this to me is about that projected confidence. Inside you may be a mess. Inside you may not have a clue about what you're doing. You may be a bit flustered, but outside you may be very good at projecting this air of confidence and like, I can take the lead in the situation. I know what we're doing. When inside you're going, I haven't got a clue. And that means that other people are going to be able to put their faith into you. People probably trust you because you project this kind of this confidence, even when you're not really feeling it. So let's go. So people with Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo. Look at that. Gorgeous. Animals. King of the jungle, right? Even though lions don't live in the jungle. Companionship. Animals. Maybe you work with animals. Maybe you do something. Maybe you... Hang on. Something's trying to come through. Just give me a second. So it's talking about... how if your job was something like working with animals, caring for animals, you would have that value of yourself because you know that those animals depend on you. So there's something about dependence, but also loyalty, which is interesting because it's the thing that I forgot to mention. You really value loyalty in the people around you, and you are very loyal to the things that you're passionate about. yeah, disrespect and disloyalty are things that are going to annoy you. So you may have a lot of animals as companions. Maybe you've got a specific animal as a companion because you like that sense of loyalty, and also that sense of being needed, of having something that is dependent on you for its survival. So to make equal the equator. Yeah, and this is again talking about fairness. You do demand equality, you demand loyalty, you want equal give and take in situations, you want to feel valued, and you want to also value the contribution of others around you. So Mars in Leo, please. Mars in Leo, please, for Friday. Mars in Leo, please, for Friday. Okay, sorry, I got distracted because they were going back to the animals. Talking about how enjoyable it is as well to kind of like, if you have like a pet dog or a pet cat, they provide warmth when they come and snuggle up to you, they provide comfort, that kind of emotional support as well. There's something to that they're kind of directing me to. So shark, purpose, there you go, wanting a sense of purpose, wanting to feel wanting to feel like you have a sense of purpose. I'm actually going to, sorry, they're telling me pool shark. This is in reference to my dad. My dad's a Leo. My dad is a bit of a pool shark. He'll go and sort of do the whole I don't know how to play pool kind of. He does this trick where he goes into the pool, like the game of pool, with a huge amount of bravado, like I'm the best, but then he'll kind of purposefully muck it up, and it kind of makes the other person, he kind of psychs out the other person, and then he's actually really good and he kind of cleans up at the end. So something to do with projecting confidence and bluffing. I don't quite know what it's trying to get me to there, but it's telling me about my dad. And dolphin, happiness. Funny, Cancer had the same placement in the same place. So happiness and purpose, because you're happy when you have a purpose. You're happiest when you feel like you have a sense of purpose, when you're needed, when you're valued, all the things that I was kind of saying before. I'm just really looking at kind of like how the shark is this deeper dive, right? So there's this something to do with like the shallow happiness and then the deeper purpose. I'm going to read from the book, and then I'm just going to kind of read it off camera. And I'm going to pick out the bits that are standing out to me, and I'll come back and explain it to you in a second. Okay, I just took a moment there to sort of drink some water and tune back into the energies and kind of clear the air a little bit. I've got some white sage burning. It's a white sage that I've kind of got a stockpile of. I haven't bought any more since somebody told me that it was kind of, there was a problem with white sage being bad for the environment or something. So yeah, I've switched to Palo Santo now normally, but what I've got left of the white sage, I've got I'm just kind of using up as and when. So I felt like a big blockage to my intuition there. I just felt like I was really stuck. Nothing was really coming out of the cards. So the white sage is clearing this blockage for me now. And I took a bit of a minute to kind of really figure out what this is trying to say for me here. So I don't know if somebody has blocked intuition. Now, water talks to me about emotion and intuition, about kind of almost like the psychic realm. So I do feel like somebody is very much out of the water at the moment, almost refusing. Yeah, okay, brilliant, I've got it. Refusing to kind of look at their shadow side. Now, I don't want to talk about skin color here. I'm seeing this more as like one person, but the kind of yin and the yang, the kind of the deeper emotions and the more surface emotions is the way that I'm reading this. So I don't want to kind of bring race into it at all. So just please do excuse me for that. That's not what my intention here. But it could be, though, it could be something to do with race, because this talks about the imagery of this card is based on a story of, I mean, I'm going to read it to you in a second, but there's something to do here with like taking a deeper dive, being on the surface, the surface level. I don't want to say shallow. It's more to do with like being quite fun-loving, being out of your emotions, right? Not being too deep, enjoying life, enjoying the day-to-day, spending time with friends, being fun, being playful with the dolphins. But then the shark card is talking to me about the deeper emotions, the darker emotions, almost like even borderline kind of like going into more depressive emotions. And it's talking to me about, if you think about dolphins and sharks, they're very, very similar in the look of them. They're both very intelligent. Dolphins are thought of as being a more of a friendly creature. You know, they've been known to kind of rescue people from the water, actually to fend off sharks. You know, they've protected surfers from shark attacks and things like this. You know, they've been known to rescue people who've been drowning. They swim alongside boats. They're very much seen as a happy, positive animal. Sharks tend to have a bad reputation. So again, I'm going to read from the book in a minute, but it's more to do with the interpretations. And so there's something to do with I'm seeing both the dolphin and the shark as different aspects of the self. The side that we like to present to others, the face that we put on, the social friendly side. Not to say that there's anything untrue about that, it's just one aspect of us, right? And then there's a side that we tend to keep hidden, which is the more difficult emotions, the more difficult things that we feel, things like anger, you know, lust, things that we feel a bit of shame about when we feel these things, that we try to kind of keep to ourselves. But there's something about recognizing and working with the darker aspects of our own psyche, exploring them and expressing them in healthy ways rather than repressing them so that they become something that is actually quite dark and dangerous. The more we repress our shadow side, the more toxic it becomes. The more light that we shed on it, the more we understand it, the more we accept it and turn it into something healthy, the better it becomes. So there's something going on like this for you. I'm going to quickly read from the cards though. So where are we? Dolphin. So the dolphin card is happiness. Happiness is not a continuous state. So this is kind of what it's saying. You shouldn't expect to be happy all the time. Nobody is happy 100% of the time. Those type of people would be like crazy, right? Nobody's always happy. Everybody has sad days. Everybody has challenging days. It's okay not to be happy all the time, is what this card is saying to me. Happiness is not a continuous state, although it is a worthy feeling to seek. Know what makes you happy and do more of this. Happiness has everything to do with your reaction to life rather than what happens to you from outside sources. If you place your happiness solely in the hands of other people, then you will be disappointed. Okay, and I'm going to read the shark meaning, and then I'll get into like the mythology of the two animals a little bit. So shark, I've just lost my dolphin page, but never mind. Purpose. You are perfectly formed to be who you were born to be. There is great power in keeping your focus. Procrastination is just another kind of fear, so keep moving forward. You are protected in a difficult task. So this is talking to me about the things that you want to do and the things that you have to do. You know, a difficult task might be, I don't know. I don't want to give the example I'm thinking of, but yeah, it's talking to me about what you have to do, which may not make you feel too happy, so you procrastinate in order to stay in the happy emotions. But it's like you have to kind of face that thing and get it done, because it's always going to be there lurking. It's always going to be underneath and almost spoiling your happiness. So face it, do it. Do the thing, Leo, do the thing, and then you can actually enjoy your happiness fully because you've dealt with that thing that you were kind of putting off. So let me just go back to the dolphin. I want to sort of tell you a little bit about the mythology of this dolphin card. There's some kind of either there's something to do with pregnancy, but I'm not seeing that fully. The mythology of these two animals both have pregnancy connected to them. Some of you it is that, others of you it may be something to do with some kind of creative project that you're trying to expand upon. So just bear that in mind, the kind of symbolism there. Whoops, just dropped it. The goddess Yemaya began as a Orisha, a spirit of rivers and watery places in Africa. When her waters broke, all the waters of the world were released. So her realm is the water, whether that be sea or river. Yemaya slips between the waves, fish-tailed like a mermaid. Okay, so is this Yemaya on this card? I am seeing it. She's a shark, but I'm seeing this as the same energy, like slipping down, right? Playing between the waves with moonlight woven in her hair. She is the mother of all and the nourishing and life-giving power of water. As her people were taken upon the slave boats to faraway lands, they still honoured Yemaya in the bellies of these dark, dank and death-stalked vessels. She heard their desperate pleas, for she was a goddess of hope, and she came with her dolphins and swam alongside the ships, keeping track of where the people were. So if you are in a dark place, hold on to hope, because it's like you are being heard by the universe. And she kept track of where the people were. So something to do keeping track, like maybe you're doing something with like ancestry.com or one of those type of sites. I'm not affiliated in any way. It's just the first one that popped into my head. Where you're maybe tracking down your family tree, figuring out where you came from in terms of ancestry, something like this. Or it's just to do with like keeping in touch with family, friendships from the past. When there were storms or high seas and boats were shipwrecked, it was Yemaya who saved the people by reducing the waves or showing them where the land or the other boats were. So maybe you are literally doing something where you're saving people, like, or saving animals, because you want meaning, right? You want the meaning. She sometimes sent her dolphins to swim by and support those who could no longer swim, bringing them close to shore or to some floating object where they could get support. Okay, so that's not the full thing because it is quite lengthy, but that was kind of the bits that seemed important at the time. So let's read a little bit of this shark mythology. The people of Polynesia had a very different relationship to sharks than most other cultures. Rather than being the object of horror and fear, sharks were honoured for their power and purpose and were seen as gods or aumakua who could be protective. The shark god Kaeli Ikaiu or Oka'u, was the cousin of Kamohoali and the great fire goddess Pele. He was a beautiful god. He was a powerful god, but quite a lonely one. He used to swim close to the shore and became friendly with the human people there, the Ka'u. The Kialia. I'm sorry, I'm just going to show you that. You can kind of read those names yourself. I'm up to here now. The Kiali Ikau or Ka'u would watch the people swim and fish and watch the sunset with its many colours. And it was during one of these times he saw a human woman. He saw a human woman who he felt was very beautiful. He got her attention and her trust, and they both fell in love. She fell pregnant to him, and when her time came, she birthed a magic green shark. The son joined his father in the sea and would help his mother and her people whenever they went fishing, or as protection when they travelled. In Hawaiian culture, animals can be families' aumakua, a kind of protective spiritual guardian. This is a form of reincarnation of a family member after death, as they could transform into an aumakua animal. Some families had sharks as their aumakua, I have to keep saying it, and these families would never fear sharks, knowing that their ancestor was alive but in shark form. So it's something that could be scary. I'm just going to show it you because there's a lot of difficult words that I just couldn't pronounce there. And something that could be scary, but you're seeing it as not scary. Or I kept on getting misunderstood by Robbie Williams, to be misunderstood by the beautiful and good in the city. So you may feel misunderstood in some kind of way. Happiness and purpose, something to do with, mainly it's happiness and purpose though, right? Wanting for most of you, it's just wanting to feel happy, wanting to feel like your life has meaning, that you have a purpose, that you are valued, that you are necessary, that you have direction, right? You find happiness in purpose. The heart of the matter, please. Thank you. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that. I told you you were a leader. The Emperor is the heart of the matter for you. So people with Leo in, Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo for Friday, please. Mars in Leo for Friday. Thank you. 2 more cards, please, for Mars in Leo for Friday. Thank you. That's 2 cards. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. Interesting combination of cards you've got there, and then 4 of inspiration on the bottom. That can talk about gathering and events, celebrating milestones, family, foundations. Okay, energy around or outside of the people coming to this reading that may be affecting them at the moment. Energy outside of people with Mars in Leo, please, for Friday, between the 4 of Voices and the Ace of Inspiration. What's going on? Thank you. Okie dokie. And something hid there, so I'll just pull that out as well. Someone's being quite secretive about something that they're working on or something that they're trying to manifest. Somebody's trying to take this kind of like inspiration energy and turn it into something new. I feel like they're trying to open up some kind of gateway, some kind of portal, because I'm going to put it here, because they felt some sort of, somebody's trying to overcome some sort of blockage, and this is somebody outside of you. Right, okay. Just before I kind of pause and just interpret this on my own, what's really standing out to me is this portal that's opening up, that somebody outside of you is trying to open up, and the kind of circle shapes on these cards, and also this kind of the water that this person's in. So this is also a barrier to me as well. So wanting to move through a portal, not a literal portal, but it's like having some sort of obstacle, wanting to move to the other side of this obstacle, but there's some sort of blockage, but somebody outside of you is trying to open up a possibility for you. Right, I'm going to just interpret this off camera for a second. I'll be back with you. Okie dokie. So I'll read the heart of the matter for you first, this Emperor in the middle of your spread. So this is your energy. The kind of cross here in the center is your energy. The cards surrounding it are an energy outside of you. So success and structure, leadership, the divine masculine, planning and delivering, building and expanding an empire, legacy, a business person, a visionary, a provider, the time for strategic thinking. Prompt, bedrock of strategy. So it says she, so she, he, they, take it as it resonates. She strums her fingers and sends a quartet of Borealis strings out into the sky, a simple joy, but one that she happily gifts the people below. The lights serve as a reminder that there is a symphony of life around them, a bigger plan that is not always evident from every vantage point. She steps onto the solid landscape with all the strength and harmonic leadership that a powerful Emperor Muse can bestow, sharing her secrets of success with you. Lead confidently, graciously, empower those around you to do their very best work. Be a guardian, a provider, a steward. Revisit how you care and provide for yourself and for others. And then her heart lights up when she sees the happy earthly hums from the people below. The glow of contented dreams warms the top of the mountains, and peace fills the valley below as they realize they are protected, fostered, and safe. Fostered. Authority, stability, these things provide control, vision now, and claim your lead, protect and feed your goal. So there's something to do, I keep getting this actually, and it's funny because I've noticed it in other people's readings and it's not sign specific. So I don't know if it's something to do with something that the planets are doing at the moment. I've had it in, I saw it in a Libra reading from a year ago that I rewatched by Sam Tarot. I saw it in a Cancer reading. I got it in one of my own Cancer readings. I saw it in another sign. I don't know if it was like Leo or Cappy, but it keeps coming through in different signs between myself and other readers. And it's something to do with either fostering animals or fostering children or adopting children. But it's this sense of kind of like somebody who's trying to save the people around them, or like open up the home to people who are in need, or it's just like this nurturing, protective energy that keeps coming through in different people's readings. For the last, say, 2.5 weeks, I keep seeing it. But this is what I was talking about, where I was saying that it's like you need to have a purpose. You need to feel like what you're doing matters, and not just to you, but to other people. You want to have an effect on the lives of others. You want to make things better, right, for other people, but you want to kind of do it as this kind of leader of the pack lion. If you think of like the main lion, the male lion, with his pride around them. So you want to care for your pride, you want to protect your tribe, you want to create this like positive environment for yourself and others. You want to have an impact on the lives of the people around you. And this thing about fostering, like with the animals as well, it's like you want to care for, you want to nurture energies outside of you, around you. But you have to remember, so that line from the Dannii Minogue song, inside I may be falling down, but outside I'm as tall as trees. So outside you want to be projecting as this confident leader. You know, it's not even for yourself. It's not even necessarily an ego thing of like, I want everybody to think I'm great. It's more that it's like, I know that the people around me need somebody that they can depend on, somebody that they can look up to. I know that the people around me need leadership, that they need somebody who is like the father figure almost. Again, not gender neutral, but it's like this leader. It's like somebody has to create, somebody has to take the lead of this situation, and it's going to be me. So it's kind of coming through. But who's looking after you, Leo? So inside I may be falling down. So projecting this image of like having a lot of self-control, having a lot of composure, but you need to make sure that you're taking the time to heal. This four of swords, four of voices, talks about the need to have that bit of downtime, you know, to go and recharge your batteries, to have a spa day, to have a long hot bath, to have a really good night's sleep. It's just saying, don't burn out, Leo, don't burn out. Make sure you factor in self-care as part of the plan, because you need to kind of look after yourself in order to be that confident leader. Okay, it's like Winston Churchill. If you think of Winston Churchill, he used to dictate meetings from the bath sometimes. You know, he'd be in the bath, his secretary be outside the door, and he'd be shouting orders to her. But it's like, you've still got to have a bath, right? You've still got to do that self-care. So remember that it's not it's part of the plan. Make self-care part of the plan. Now you are trying to go somewhere, you are trying to move in some sort of way. The Eight of Emotions here talks about a missing cup. So the Nine of Cups is the ability to make yourself happy from within. The ability, like this dolphin card was talking about, of being able to not be affected by what happens around you because you have that inner tranquility, but you don't, right? There's a missing piece. Look at this big missing piece here. So you need to get to your Nine of Cups. You need to figure out this key skill of being able to have that self-care, to look after yourself, to be happy within, no matter what's going on around you, not to be affected by the actions of other people or events or circumstances. So you are having a bit of a search for it, but there's some kind of confusion about the path ahead. So when I read this card here, the Four of Voices, it actually does say, I won't read the whole thing because I'm only really trying to read the key card, but it says, sleep, for this is where all the energy to create your path will be found. So I see you as trying to create a path. Excuse me. But you can see, like, she's literally on this path, right? You're on this path. You're trying to create a path. Maybe you're trying to create a path for yourself and for others. I'm so sorry. I've had a big breakfast today. I can't stop burping. I'm so sorry about that. So the Seven of Cups talks about emotional confusion, not knowing which path to take. It's almost like you've got all these different options in front of you, these different choices, these different paths. You don't know which option to take. You don't know which path to take. So yeah, feeling very, very confused about how to create this new path for yourself, this new pathway is how it's coming through, with this, which is what this portal energy was up here. So here you are, like here's the 7 paths. Here you are doing that time where you rest and relax, and you are processing these paths, right? But you can see that she's narrowed down her choices here. She has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paths here open to her. And then when she's doing that rest and meditation, it's like she's got 4 paths now. So it's narrowing down your choices. You're figuring things out when you rest. Now here with this Ace of Inspiration in the reverse, so again there's this pathway that's trying to open up. Can you see the pathway? It's like you're on one side of this void, right? You're on one side of this portal that you're waiting to go through, trying to figure out, this is like the path that's going to lead you through into that new phase. Now, the Ace of Inspiration talks about, it's the Ace of Wands. It talks about something very, very new that you're very excited about, very passionate about. It can be a love interest, feeling very passionate for somebody new, or it's a new project that you're working on that you're really excited about. But again, inspiration, it's inspired, it's creative, it's new, it's visionary, but you're not quite seeing how to get through. It's like you've got an idea for a project or an idea for something that you want to do, but you don't know how to get it off the ground. You don't know how to get it started, or you don't know which option, which pathway to take in this situation. So there is somebody outside of you though. Now with this 9 of Wands card, this particular 9 of Wands card, for me, talks about getting to a point where you get stuck. So you can see it's almost like the wands are creating this fence. There's a barrier here she can't quite get over. But it's almost like she's using her intuition again. She's kind of going within, looking at that light, figuring things out. So this is an energy outside of you. I have to be really clear with this. So this is somebody who is overcoming some sort of obstacle, or they are at least putting effort into doing so. It could be somebody is trying to remove an obstacle from your life so that you can follow your path. So the 9 of Wands then, something that's kind of feeling a bit battered and bruised, something that's been a long process. It's really taking quite a lot of time to get this barrier removed, but they're really working on it, and they're working really hard here. So the Magician takes dreams and makes them a reality. They've got all the tools of the tarot so that they can take action on a practical level. It's also manifesting. So somebody outside of you may be manifesting a new pathway for you, which is interesting. It could be something to do with crossing paths. You may not even know this person. It may be that they're trying to remove an obstacle from their life, and as that obstacle gets removed from their life, the pathway also opens up for you to either follow, or for you to move through or past that obstacle, right? The person outside of you, though, they do have some kind of mental blockage here. You could have been blocked by this person literally on social media. It talks about this crossed swords. You may be at some kind of verbal or mental conflict with this person, or this person just feels very conflicted with their own thoughts. They don't know which option to take. They don't know which pathway to choose. So very much in the same boat here. But they need to use their intuition here. They need to use their intuition rather than trying to think their way through this. They need to feel their way through it. They're trying to be very, very balanced here. They may be overcoming some sort of addiction, possibly. The Temperance card can sometimes talk about tempering, alcohol kind of thing, not drinking too much. But more than that, kind of like the main message is that they're trying to balance out their emotions and their passions here. They're trying to come to a very stable place. It's a very compassionate card as well. It's Sagittarian energy, so you could be dealing with the Sagittarius. Magician is Virgo or Gemini energy. Doesn't have to be these signs, but just so you know, the Emperor is Aries Taurus energy. Are you Aries Taurus? I don't know. It's more about the energy, the actions of the person than the sign attached to the card. But yeah, it's being patient. I feel like because there is, absolutely, there is some kind of blockage. It could be that you and this person want to have a get together, right? With that 4 of Wands, you may want to, have a party together. You may want to meet up and work on a project together. It could be many different things, right? But you're trying to find a pathway. This person's trying to overcome obstacles. Because here as well, the 2 of Wands in reverse. This is 2 of Wands talks about 2 different paths, indecision, making a choice, and you can see that there's not really anything here with this one, but over here she's already made her choice. It could be something to do with travel here with the card and the world. She's looking out of the window. It's like she's made her choice, she's ready to move, but you know, maybe it's lockdown, maybe it's COVID, they're stuck, they've made the decision, but they can't move yet, they can't take action on their choice, so they're having to be very, very patient. But it's good because it's helping them. Sorry, my video cuts out. The time that they are spending being patient is actually getting them into this very, very balanced state. It could be that this person is learning how to be patient or what to do when they are stuck, but they are trying to overcome this obstacle, trying to remove this obstacle from their path, at least, possibly from your path as well. And I do see in the future this pathway is going to open up for you. This door is going to open. You are both going to be able to move soon. It's just that at the moment there is some kind of obstacle. Okay, so yeah, so while they're getting balanced, you can spend some time pampering yourself, having that hot bath, right? Having a bit of downtime, listen to some music. You know, allow that creation energy to flow rather than spending the time being impatient, stamping your feet, roaming around. You know, take that time and make it something that's useful to you. Can I get an advice card, please, for people with Mars in Leo? Mars in Leo, please, when it comes to this reading. Thank you very much. Yeah, there you go. Take the time to breathe out. So that's very much this energy, right? Take the time to rest. Take the time to pamper yourself when things slow down. When you can't move, what can you do? And then balance, oh my goodness, look, balance spirituality and practicality. So yeah, there you go, balance spirituality and practicality. So it just says the same thing for me, like the things that you have to do, the things that you want to do, the things that you know, are necessary. You know, you've been procrastinating a little bit, but you do need to have balance in your life. You do need to have that time to have the fun. So all work and no play make Mars in Leo a very dull boy. So do make sure that you have a good work-life balance, that you take the time to relax, as well as doing all the things that you have to do, right? Okay, so advice, please, for people with a Mars in Leo placement. Can I get some, whoa, that's a bit too much advice. Could I maybe get one, maybe two cards, please, for Mars in Leo? Clearly the guys think that you need a lot of advice today. There we go, we've got one. You've got the protection message, which is interesting. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. Maybe you feel like you're in some sort of Groundhog Day there. Every day's the same in lockdown, right? Rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time, but you've got it in the reverse. So I am seeing a lot of rabbits as well. That's another thing that I keep seeing in various readings. So I don't know what the meaning of rabbits is at the moment. Again, pregnancy. Do be careful if you're not trying to get pregnant, that you are taking proper precautions. So with it being in the reverse, you've got the protection message. So I'll put it up right so you can see it while I read. Watch out for rabbits. If you're seeing rabbits, there may be some kind of, it could be like a little nudge from your guides to say, heads up, what were you thinking about there? It may be confirmation that what you were thinking was correct. It may be helping you to decide which path to move on. So do watch out for rabbits, whether it's in real life or on paintings or on the TV or in songs. Rabbits may have some sort of significance for you over the next week or so. Okay. Vulnerability is required of you now, even if you don't feel safe. Act as if you trust that you will be okay, and soon you will see that you are okay. To create is to take risks. So at this fortunate, fertile time, banish your fears and recognize the real security is in immersing yourself in the process of co-creation. So banish your fears and recognize the real security is in immersing yourself in the process of co-creation. It's okay to admit that you don't really know how to deal with whatever is in front of you. That's exactly what I was saying, right? Outside I'm as tall as trees. Maybe it's time to drop the front, right? To drop the guard, to admit that you need help. This is where curiosity and not knowing can be a wonderful state of mind. Be playful now. That's what I was saying here. Don't get too serious. Try and make time to have fun. Be playful now, admitting that you are at the beginning of something. Come out to frolic in the sun's nurturing light because it's time to birth something new. Oh my God, time to frolic. Okay, don't take things too seriously. Let your guard down. accept help if you need it, and be playful with it, right? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why the Ace of Wands is in reverse, because the Ace of Wands is like a new creative project, a new start, something that you want to get off the ground. With it in reverse, I feel like you're procrastinating with it, with the shark. I feel like you are, yeah, you're procrastinating because you're not quite sure. It's like with the Seven of Cups, it's like you don't quite know how to tackle it. So it's saying to you, the advice is saying to you, see it as something fun, see it as an opportunity, see it as a time to be childlike and experiment and kind of do a bit of trial and error, but have fun with it. It's like, well, does this work? Does this work? What if I try this? All right. Yeah. So approach it in a fun way, approach it in a let's see what happens kind of way, approach it as an adventure rather than something that you have to do. And I hope that is helpful to you. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to pull you an advice song on camera now. Again, these are all randomized. I've got quite a lot of, excuse me, burping again, quite a lot of songs on here now. So who knows what we're going to get. I've got a real mix of all sorts of things. So the people coming to this reading today who are resonating with this reading, what is the song that they really need to hear right now? The best advice you can give them. What song is really going to kind of link with them? Leo, you got Last Night by The Strokes. Shush, shush, Maddie. That's an advert for Hope Hospital. Last night she said, and I don't know why. She walked out that door. I don't know. You can go and listen to that song. Go and look up the lyrics. Go and watch the video if it's not too rude. That little image with it looked a bit rude there. And see what you get from that. Last Night by The Strokes. So however that resonates for you, whatever that brings to mind, no matter how you feel about it, there's advice in that song for you somewhere. So Leo, I hope you found that enjoyable. Was it as good for you as it was for me? I hope it was helpful to you. Do leave me a like if you like, share with friends, leave me a comment if anything particularly resonated. I really love to hear that feedback. It gives me a bit of a boost to keep me going, to make it feel like, I actually am connecting with people, rather than just shouting into the void, right? Shouting into that black hole of the internet. It's nice to get a response from people. And do share with other people if you think it resonates with them as well, if you think it's going to be helpful to them. Because all this really does help out my channel, and I really appreciate it when I see those likes and those comments. It really does give me a bit of a boost, so thank you to the people who are doing that. All right, if you want to come in as a stealth watcher as well, like that little shark going undercover, that's totally fine as well. I totally understand that and I respect it. So, guys, I'll see you again soon. Best of luck with whatever you're up to. Bye-bye.